Welcome to HHUS's student paper Ekbladet's Summer Talks for the 2023 summer release. As a part of the digitalization process of Ekbladet, we are bringing podcasts as well as summer and winter talks to our members. For the summer release of 2023, IBP, CEP, SM, and HLP have one summer talk/podcast each. Furthermore, the head general of 2023's Inspark will join the lineup. IBP's and the head general's talks are in English. CEP's, SM's, and HLP's talks/podcasts will be in Swedish. So, without further ado, on behalf of the editorial group, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hey, I just came home from the beach and I promise you it was so nice, especially to go there in May, like the beginning of May, and it's so warm. Oh, it's just amazing. My name is Emelie Högberg. I'm 24 years old from Uppsala. I'm in my third year of studying service management, also called SM or SMP. And during the spring semester 2023, I have been abroad in Barcelona, and it's been so amazing. And even though I'm looking forward to coming home to Sweden, I've had such a good time here in Barcelona. And at this time, I was also a member of HHUS management and had a role in the social committee as the head general for Inspark in 2023. I like working with people, and I'm excited to contribute to Insparken in another way than just being a father. Because even if Insparken, of course, is epic if you're a father, because I've been that twice, and it's so fun, I promise you. I'm excited to be the head general this year. And to be honest, in the beginning, engaging in HHUS while I was abroad made me a bit nervous, especially because it wasn't on the spot to support my team of generals, and since all the communication just went through Zoom and Messenger, I was a bit unused to this. But as time went on, I it all went better, and I always try to see the situations from the bright side, and I believe that a few bumps and bruises along the way helps you gain that valuable experience. And just like remember, when no matter what role you have in the committee, you'll always have support from HHUS. And now we've come a long way, and I'm really proud of my general team. We all complement each other, and I believe that this year's Inspire will be epic, of course. And being a part of HHUS management, I would also say is a great opportunity to make new friends. And I promise you that you will have a lot of fun. I've actually been a member of HHUS for 2 years now. Last year, I was an event manager, and this was my first time in HHUS. I was an event manager at Ekbladet, and now, as mentioned, I'm head general. So last year, I got to experience many of the amazing events that are arranged for example management. We had an epic time during the kick-in at Trehörningsjö camping, as well as the handover sitting at the EPUBen. So, with that said, the EPUB committee during 2022 became like my second family. And it was almost like we took care of our own little restaurant, which our friends visited during the EPPs on Friday, of course. So with that said, I worked a lot behind the bar at the Ekbladet, which is something everyone really should try. I know that it can be perceived as a bit scary. I had zero experience behind the bar in the beginning, and I was actually so scared. I hadn't even poured a beer in my life, but it was fun. Like, trust me, it's way more fun than scary. and everyone is really helpful, and we'll all work together to make the EPP as amazing as possible. And I remember just after like the first shift I had, I was hooked. And who knows, maybe this is where my future as a bartender started. I don't know. But it was fun. And everyone is so kind, as I mentioned, and just working behind the bar and just serving all of your friends can also be really fun. So because of all the things I got to be a part of as a member of Management 2022, I'm not gonna lie, I've got FOMO several times during my time here in Barcelona, as I've been unable to join all the epic events. Like, for example, the kick-in or the Valborg, the last of April event that was happened, and oh, or the pub crawl that was now in May. And yeah, so the FOMO sometimes takes over, even though I'm having a good time here in Barcelona. But I would say, in honor of my amazing friends and a certain person called Hannah Forsell, Miss Vice Head of Business, I got called on FaceTime several times during the events. So thanks to them, I didn't miss that much, I think, or at least I hope so. But the FaceTime calls just made me miss them even more. So, looking back to where I am right now, how's life in Barcelona, you may wonder? I would say, in short, this city never sleeps. And as I try to live in the present and don't worry too much about the future, I can't help thinking about how sad it will be when I leave Barcelona. So, in other words, I guess that shows how much fun I've had here. Um, and I've met so many friends, I've eaten food, and honestly, there's like, you have the cafeteria at the school, and I have lunch boxes from time to time, but the main thing that they serve is French fries and chicken. So I think when I come home to Sweden, the first thing I'm gonna buy or make is salmon with rice or something. That sounds awesome. Because the salmon here is so expensive. And also, I was lucky to have an orientation week just before school started. And the semester starts a bit later here than it does in Sweden. But during this week, I got to know many of my newfound friends, and they are from countries all around the world: Egypt, Italy, Germany, Finland, Greece, Mexico, Portugal. It's a wild mix, so to say. And there's also two girls from Norway, and we're actually roommates. So go Team Scandinavia! The mood is usually a 10 out of 10 unless someone starts a conversation about the advantages of Norway versus Sweden, because then it might feel that there's no end to the story. But it's fun either way. But I actually moved once when I was here in Barcelona, and I'm so glad now that I live in a shared apartment, or like a flat, with not just the Norwegian girls, it's also a girl from Manchester, I think, and two from India, and one guy from Egypt, I think. But I'm so open to meeting new friends, and I really like it here, where I live right now. And I also remember in the beginning when the classes started, everything just felt a bit weird, but it wasn't in a bad way. I think it was because the lectures were not held in like the big auditoriums with around 200 seats. Like, I wasn't sitting in our beloved Lindel 1 with like the 300 seats. Because in Barcelona and at IQS, which is the name of the school, they use smaller classrooms where the teacher walks around more and there's a lot more interaction between the teacher and the students. So I guess I was very unused to this in the beginning, and it almost felt like I was back in a classroom at high school. Like, when you have your own desk and you have a drawer or something and you put all your things there and just like, and everyone is so young here as well. So sometimes in the classroom there was a bit too much distraction, but I guess it's funny in a way as well because yeah, it was so different compared to Sweden. So at first I was just like, oh God, no. But then you get to know the people that's in your class and they're really nice people. And the schedule was also so different. Most classes end around 1 p.m., which is also when the school cafeteria started serving lunch. And honestly, I think this is a bit late, even though it's just like an hour um, after you have the lunch break in Sweden. I guess, I don't know. Sometimes it just felt like, oh, you have to, because when classes started at 12:30, you had to wait half an hour to just buy food. But it worked out. And due to the late opening hours, I've experienced actually a sandwich called bikini, which is very popular here in Barcelona. And I guess you can make them in different ways, but the ones I've had at school are actually just a toast with ham and cheese. So basic though, but it's so good. I think, I don't know why, but it's just like, it's the perfect thing to eat. And why it's called bikini is, I think, because it's like when you cut it, it's like two triangles, so it looks like a bikini. And but I also think there's like a whole story behind it. I'm not sure of the whole story because one of my classmates just said like, "Oh, you should have a bikini. It's so good." And I was like, "Okay." And then I tried it and I'm hooked. And then he was like, "Oh, it's also like a whole story behind it." I was like, "Oh," but then I haven't heard the whole story yet. But it's really good. And further on, what to say more? Like during the Easter holiday, most people had, or like most of my friends had family and friends visiting. So at this time, my mom and my sister actually came to visit me, and it was so much fun. It was the perfect thing to do, and just like, I don't know, hanging out with your family and just like no pressure, if you know what I mean. And even though I've done several, like so many fun things with the friends I have here, we all have school and sometimes we go by different schedules. So I guess having a whole week off and just like um, being with your parents, it was almost like going on vacation. And going on vacation with your parents just makes you always relax in a different way compared to if you're on your own or with your friends and so on. So my sister, my mom, and I, we went full on tourist mode. And honestly, for a while, I think I just forgot that I went to school here because it really felt like a true vacation. And to be honest, it was a bit weird not going to the airport with them in the end, like when they went home. Um, yeah, and my dad is also coming to visit now, actually, during the middle of May. So I wonder if he's gonna go full tourist mode as well, or what we're gonna be doing. And to round off this, like to be honest, I I know I think about the time I left so much now, and it's such a sensitive topic to talk about. As I'm recording this, I have around 4 weeks left here in Barcelona, like in 1 month, on June 7th, I'm gonna leave and go home back to Sweden. So these upcoming weeks that we have now are full of final exams, presentations. So it's sad, but also something I'm looking forward to. Just coming home and meeting my family and my friends. And if you have the time and the possibility to go abroad, or just use the semester you have in your program to take a leap and apply for a school abroad through Erasmus or the options that the school or Umeå University offers, I definitely recommend you should do it, because you learn so much about yourself, you meet so many new people, you learn things about different countries, and it's it's a lifetime experience, definitely. So I hope you enjoy listening to my podcast, and I'll see you on the fall and maybe during the Inspark as well. Have a good one. Bye.